Hey, my name is Yanni Kokos with Oly PRformance, and I'm here to talk all things Olympic weightlifting. Today I'm going to start with just, if you're somebody new to Olympic weightlifting and you're trying to learn it and you don't really know where to start, this video is for you. This is how I teach all my lifters how to do it. We always start with a PVC pipe. This may seem really simple. It may seem almost too simple, but I really like it because it lets us learn the technique the right way. It gives us a foundation. It gives us a way to really build in fundamentals before we ever touch a barbell. So that's my step one. Step two, I really like to then go to an empty barbell, right? So we're now at the barbell level. We're just not adding any weight quite yet. So with the empty barbell, the goal is now we have a little bit of weight behind it because the barbell does weigh about 45 pounds. So we have some weight behind it. It's just not so heavy that we can't focus on the technique as much. So with this, we'll start to go through all the movements. We'll start to get comfortable, almost gaining what I call body awareness, just gaining what the tension should feel like. We start to understand what that feels like. So those are really the first two steps before ever really doing the full Olympic lift. And then the last one, you guessed it, putting weight on the bar. So now you're ready. Once you've gone through these two things, you're comfortable with weightlifting more now. You understand what things should feel like. You're starting to move a little bit better. Your technique is starting to look like what you want it to. It's starting to look like what you see in all those awesome videos of all those amazing weightlifters that you watch. Now it's time to put some weight on the bar. And we start light and we build up just as you would think. Now, the other question I get a lot is, okay, I understand all this. I'm going to learn by starting with a PVC pipe, an empty barbell, and then weight. But it's still a complicated movement. Getting the bar from the ground to overhead isn't easy. So where do I start from there? And that's a really good question, to which I always say, the next thing you want to think about is, okay, you're right. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty complicated movement, I should say. How can we simplify it? And the way that we typically do this, and what I like to do, is tell my lifters, okay, let's break it down into components. This just means there's many different parts of the lift that actually come together to form the entire lift. So, for example, in a clean, you have the pull, and the first pull and the second pull. You have, a catch position. You get into a front squat. You stand back up. So one of the things that you can do is break them down into a component. You can do a power clean, which is catching it in a partial squat instead of the full squat. You can also practice pulls that bring the barbell, up to the waist and higher before actually getting into the point where you transition into the catch position. So this is an example of how we can break it down into a component, simplify it, learn the components, get comfortable with each. Once you're comfortable with all of those positions, you then put it all together. Right now we're going to bring it full circle and get into the full lifts and start to program around the full lift. So that's a really comprehensive way to put everything together. If you're extremely new and you don't really, it's overwhelming, right? When you first start, how do I start? What are the ways I can make this simplified? And this is a step-by-step process on how to get there. So if you like this, if you found this helpful, and this is something that is a problem that you were having, feel free to subscribe to my channel below for more weightlifting videos just like this. Also, you can come to my Instagram page at Oly PRformance. That'd be Oly, OLY _PRformance, FORMANCE, for more content that's just like this, that goes into more detail.